Are you visiting someone here as well? I'm paying a visit to my former school teacher, Miss Julia Fielder, who passed away in 1922. She was only 46 at the time. Can you imagine dying so young? Just dreadful. I'm sorry, where are my manners? My name is Adra Edwards, and I live in Medford. Miss Fielder was my first grade teacher at the old Washington School. I say old because it was torn down a couple of years ago to make room for the courthouse. I was chosen along with Bobby Nolson to play a part in the formal dedication ceremony for Miss Fielder back in 1923. Bobby and I unveiled the sundial monument that was placed in front of the school in honor of our teacher. Being so young at the time, I was a little bit nervous, but also quite proud to have been asked to do it. I can still remember what was written on the monument. In memory of Julia Fielder, a friend to all children. And above the sundial it said, I count none but sunny hours. I will never forget her. She was so kind and patient with all of the children. Of course, I didn't know it at the time, but she inspired me to do well in school. She is missed by so many.
Hello, Adra.
Miss Fielder, what are you doing here? I thought you were...
Dead? Yes. I passed some time ago, but I'm here as a spirit this evening to thank you for your visit. You know, I miss my students so much. They meant so much to me.
Well, people still talk about you and what a great teacher you were. I think everybody either had you as a teacher or knew somebody who did. They said you were Medford's favorite and most beloved teacher.
Well, that's really sweet, Adra. I did teach for 29 years, some in rural schools, a year over at Roosevelt. But my favorite time were the 20 years I spent at Washington with you first graders. You know, it was so wonderful to see you succeed and move on. You know, Washington was Medford's first pioneer school.
I didn't know that. Were you a pioneer to Oregon?
Yes, my family came to Oregon in 1880. My parents brought my younger sister Rose and me. I was only 4 years old.
What made your family decide to come?
We were farmers, and we had some land in Central Point, right across from the Central Point Cemetery. And my family farmed there until my dad died in 1888. I was only 12 years old.
That must have been awful losing your father at such a young age. What did your mother do? How did you get by? I can't imagine if anything ever happened to either of my parents. I'd be so sad.
Well, it was very difficult. But Mother worked very hard to take care of herself and to raise Rose and me. You know, Daddy had not finished the house before he passed, and so we couldn't live on the farm during the year. We were in Medford, but during the summers, we came out and she worked the farm. She worked so very hard.
What made you want to become a teacher? Did you go away to college? I sure want to go to college.
Well, you know, with Daddy dying so young and Mother having to work so hard, I decided early on that I was going to have to do something to take care of myself. And so teaching seemed like a good idea. So after I graduated from high school, Medford High, in 1893, I started teaching the very next fall.
But what about college? Did you go?
Yes, education is a long suit in our family. Mother's cousin is Leland Stanford, who opened Stanford University in 1914. I went to the Oregon Normal School in Drain, Oregon, and then I taught some students over at Ashland Normal School.
Normal school? What's a normal school?
Well, they don't call them normal schools anymore. They're teachers' colleges, and they're all across the world, and they have the highest standards to teach students to become really good teachers. After I graduated, I continued my education during the summers. I went to the University of California in Berkeley, and I also studied in New York.
California and New York? Now that's where I want to go someday. Maybe that's where I'll go to college. What do you think, Miss Fielder?
Well, Adra, it doesn't matter where you go, just that you go and that you study hard and make the most of your life. Teaching was my whole life. I never married, I never had children of my own, but seeing you all succeed meant so much to me.
Well, you certainly deserved the sundial monument and all the wonderful speeches that were made about you at your ceremony. I think nearly everyone was there. The Daughters of the American Revolution, the Methodist Church, the College Women's Club, Mr. Mann from the school board, the county superintendent, Principal Hanby, and I forget the rest. They all talked about your lasting influence, and Bobby Nolson and I took off the flag during the unveiling of the monument.
It was a beautiful tribute, and I was truly touched.
You were there? You heard what was said?
Yes, I come back for special occasions, like the dedication and like your visit to me this evening. Adra, study hard and make the most of your life.
At the dedication ceremony, Principal Hanby said that Miss Fielder's students had a universal love for her and that she carried forward the great work of education. He said what she taught her students would be passed on from generation to generation long after the granite and bronze of the memorial have perished. Miss Fielders was gratified enough to influence small children to nobler lives and higher aspirations. She inspired them and they inspired her. If you visit the monument on the corner of Laurel and West Main Streets in Medford, you'll notice that the pointer on the sundial is intentionally missing, as the inscription states, "I count none but sunny hours."